Greetings, beloved brothers and sisters. In the course of living on the earth and being raised by parents in any number of configurations, there is a recapitulation of the original tiny mad idea of what would it be like to be separate from God. When you're raised by parents and you're completely dependent on them, especially when you're very young, and it does take quite a long time to grow up and be on your own. In the beginning, it's easy to surrender to them. They are like God to you. You believe whatever your parents say, and you draw conclusions about who you are based on what they tell you about yourself. At a certain point, however, there's a resistance to surrendering to your parents, to doing everything they say. And a strong desire grows to be your own person, to do what you want to do. At first, who you think you are is just the opposite of what they are. So you form your identity by being the photographic negative of whatever your parents' values are. If they have short hair, you want to have long hair, and vice versa. If they like a particular music, you like the opposite music. And we call this process individuation. So later in life, when you hear about surrendering to God, it's not an easy thing to do because the ego bases surrender on a previous experience of having surrendered to quite imperfect parents. There's a resistance to giving up your decisions and your will to the will of God, since in your experience you did that before and it didn't turn out so well. And even if it did turn out well, there's a loss of the sense that you could do something yourself. When you're growing up, the thing that makes you feel good about yourself is mastery, learning to tie your own shoes, learning to ride a bike, learning to drive, learning to handle yourself in a group. All of these things give you mastery, a type of self-esteem that can't be taken away. So it's quite a challenge when you're asked to surrender with every breath, everything you think you know, and everything you think you are. Because all you have to relate to is surrendering to parents and people in authority who were raised by imperfect parents, who were raised by imperfect parents. And there's a long chain of ego raising ego. So it's quite foreign, the idea that you would surrender your life and your thoughts and your ideas to something larger than you that is indeed perfect, has your best interest at heart, loves you, and will take care of everything. If you compare it to your ego experience when you're younger, you'll never feel comfortable. But there are things that happen that make it easier to wake up. One is, as you develop agency in your life, you're able to do things, go to work, make money, have a relationship, raise children, and you become stronger in that. You can think that you're in charge. But if you really look honestly, you'll realize that so much that happens in your life was a surprise. That it really isn't a logical step. I did this and this led to that. That if you're really honest, much of what comes to you was not predictable. And as you go deeper into that, you realize there are complexities about relationship. There are complexities about the earth that you live on that you cannot fathom. And it's just arrogance and pride that makes you think that you could actually control everything from your limited understanding. When you understand that, it's not so easy to let go. I can't do this. I can't do this on my own. I can't figure this out. And I don't have the understanding of all of the different factors that go into making a decision. It takes a while for you to try everything that you have and realize you can't get where you want to go from here. Even if other people think you've made it, you know that's not true. So that's a good thing. The second thing is to bridge the gap between your old experience of surrendering to somebody else, to somebody else's ideas and somebody's ego and to some doctrine or some dogma, and surrendering to the experience of love itself. Because all along the way, love has been the attraction. And what you're being offered is the purest love, the most complete, brilliant, wise, caring, understanding love imaginable right now, not when you die, not just when you leave your body, but right now. And that is immensely attractive, especially when you've run out of ideas of how to save yourself. This is a surrender without sacrifice. This is a surrender only when you're ready. When you've exhausted your attempts at happiness and peace. This is a surrender into perfection. To be the child not of imperfect parents, raised by imperfect parents, but to be the child of God. To be God. To be pure love and to trust that experience. This is the opportunity. This is the appeal to awaken. Let yourself see that this is quite different than anything you've ever been offered. It goes way beyond right and wrong, good and bad, anybody's values. It's the pure experience of love and trusting in the wisdom to have all your needs met and anticipated in a way that lets you play full out without having to worry about the outcome. the attraction grows stronger every day. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.